Yo, welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal,
Mandio.
and we are KAMMA. About to talk about our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for the main card. UFC Fight Night Vegas 98, Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. And we're going to get right into it with the first fight of the main card. Who you got here, Andy O?
I gotta stick with D-Rod here. When you've been watching fights long enough, you just can't go with the way Morono's been looking lately. And I know the money line could be tempting, but I gotta go with D-Rod. I think his boxing is gonna keep Morono away. Morono's gonna go for two or three of those stupid spinning punches he does all the time to like no effect most of the time. He's gonna probably jump a gilly in a bad spot a couple times, and I don't think he's gonna get Rodriguez to submit like that. I think Rodriguez and his weird body, his weird big upper body, and just the way he throws his punches and just his boxing, I think is going to be enough to beat Morono here. And I expect Morono to get tired. I expect D-Rod to get tired too, but just not as much as Morono. And yeah, Morono just never had the best decision making to begin with, and you just add that with his washness now that I see it's a no-go for me. So give me D-Rod by decision or just an accumulation of punches for the knockout.
Yeah. Like, nice, man. Me too. Still in agreement with you here with Daniel Rodriguez. Topology had these guys being with a 2 inch height advantage. Do you see this as a 2 inch height advantage? A height difference? Come on. Daniel Rodriguez looks way taller than Alex Morono here, man. Way more than 2 inches. I mean, come on. And I like that he's going to have the reach advantage as well, Daniel Rodriguez. Both of these guys have been losing lately, especially D-Rod on a 3 fight losing skid.
They just both look like crap, man. Both of them look like shit.
But I gotta say that I am not mad at some of the losses from D-Rod compared to the losses by Morono, like Kelvin Gastelum, Ian Machado Gary. Ian Gary's a star, and Neil Magny is still a gatekeeper and a veteran. You know what I mean? So to lose to those three guys, I don't find it's as bad as losing to Nico
Oh,
Price, losing to Joaquin Buckley, yes, but not Santiago Ponzinibbio. Like Alex Morono should have beat that guy.
I'll give D-Rod a pass for Gary, but not the other two.
Well, Kelvin Gastelum's also very good, but
Eh.
I mean, I just look at the height advantage here. I like the size advantage here for Daniel Rodriguez. I think Morono, this guy's been, looking downhill lately. I don't think he's going to be as good, man. I think that obviously Rodriguez is better on the feet. I think he keeps the fight standing. I think Morono's going to try to shoot takedowns all kinds. I think Rodriguez is going to be able to stuff the takedowns, maybe land a knee when he's trying to come down. Maybe a punch or something, which might discourage Morono. You saw what happened against Nico Price, eh?
I had a nightmare about that fight, eh? I don't know if I let
In
you
that
know.
fight against Nico Price, Morono, I don't even think he even shot for a takedown in that one. Like not often, at least. I remember Nico was able to land a few hard punches on him, and then he just discouraged them from trying to take down. We kept screaming at the screen, take him down, and he just wasn't doing anything. So to take down a big guy like Rodriguez, I think he's going to have a hard time. I think he's going to get discouraged. He's going to get clipped a few times at distance by Rodriguez's straight punches. Morono's chin is not looking good at all. He gets rocked very easily. Got knocked out by Ponzinibbio. So I think that D-Rod can get the knockout in here. I'm predicting Daniel Rodriguez to win by knockout or decision. Of course, he might outpoint him with strikes. And I think that Morono is just washed, man. I think it's done. It's it for Morono. So we're still in agreement in the final predictions for this main card. So let's move on up to the next fight. We got Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia. Look at the difference here in both of these guys. Look, Rafa looks very serious. Looks kind of angry there. Looks like he's trying to intimidate Grant Dawson. Man, Grant Dawson's been fighting some top dogs.
Sorry, Rafa to me looks like the face he's gonna have when he's struggling to get out of Gilly when Dawson has him from behind there, or
Seriously.
like he's really constipated. So that's what I.
But when I'm looking at this fight, I'm saying to myself, look at the fighters that Rafa Garcia has fought compared to Grant Dawson. Okay, I really think Grant Dawson fought better guys. We're talking Nathan Levy, Jesse Ronson. The only good fighter was Drakkar Close, but Mahashati Hayasar and Clay Guida, an old Clay Guida too at that. So Rafa,
Very old.
very average guys except for Drakkar. But Grant Dawson, look at this: Jared Gordon, Mark Madsen, the Olympic wrestler, Damir Ismagulov, who's 24-2, a fucking champion, a really good fighter. Bobby Green, and also Joe Selecki. So he's fought better guys, and I like Grant Dawson's ground game, relentless wrestling and takedowns. Rafa Garcia is going to have a tough night with Grant Dawson being all over him. And we haven't seen Rafa really do that well in anything. Like he's a decent striker, but I haven't seen him really do much in the ground game there. So Grant Dawson's got this one in the bag, man. I think they hooked him up here with a layup. So I got Grant Dawson winning by submission or decision. Grant Dawson's got some good subs. I think Rafa's going to give his back up at some point in this fight, get taken down, try to get up and get subbed.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think Dawson is great at finding the back. I think he's going to just show some patience again and not be too fancy, just like he did against Selecki, to get back on the winning get back on the winning side after losing that fluke to Bobby Green. And
Yeah.
I don't think Rafa has the grappling that Selecki does, man. Even though it was a unanimous decision, Selecki made him work, Dawson. So I also think he's going to end up getting his back at some point and putting him out for the submission, probably early second round.
Nice one. All right, moving on up.
Well, let's just call second round.
Nice. Moving on up to the next fight, we got the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Njo Kuani versus Jared Gooden.
All right, so for goodness sake, I hope he's not dangling his head out that far during the fight because it was getting worse and worse. Like this is at the beginning of the face-off here. I like Njokwani in this one. I think he has still a little bit of gas left in the tank. If he loses this fight, then that'll prove me wrong because that's why he's going to lose this fight by not being able to take a shot too well, kind of thing. I still think he has enough in him to hurt Gooden. Gooden's really nothing special. He's really methodical. He doesn't have enough input, and he didn't want to shake Njokwani's hand. So what did Njokwani do after that? He turned around and combed his hair and walked off. So there you go. Give me Njokwani by knockout or decision.
Yeah. Jared Gooden trying to be not a sport there, not shaking his hand. Jared Gooden has lost some size, man. This guy used to be jacked. He used to be bigger, much more muscular and thicker, man. He lost some size big time here. He looks a lot skinnier than
I
he's
think
ever
you're
seen.
right. But remember, sorry, I noticed that these ceremonials here was very shortly after the actual weigh-in.
Yeah,
So Gordon may actually look back to normal size on that one.
yeah. Jared Gooden might,
And
he
you,
might look
you,
a little bit better, but his weight cut didn't look great at all. I mean, look how skinny he looks here compared to his natural look. And we've seen this guy look jacked, and here he's like just looking really bad. Whereas Chitty looks great. He's always looked like this. He's still very slim, very fucking cut,
yeah,
ripped,
he looks the same. He looks all
yeah,
right.
muscular. Look at the height advantage, man. This is absolutely insane. The height advantage here. Chitty can just easily strike on Jared Gooden from a distance, man. Gooden's gonna have a hard time landing punches with that height advantage here. I love it when fighters are this much taller because the other fighter, the shorter fighter, has to punch upwards to try to hit the face, whereas the taller fighter just has to punch downwards. Much easier to punch downwards than upwards, and be more accurate as well. Chitty needs this win though. He's lost 3 fights. He did get that last win against Reese McKee, but he needs this win, man. I think
If
he's going to go in there and fight a smart fight, a good fight.
if he can't win this fight, I'm gonna have to say, get out of here. He has to be Gordon here.
Yeah, he definitely does. Both of them have he has a 3-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. I think he's going to use that reach advantage, and he's very good at kickboxing too. He's good at kicking. I think he'll land some leg kicks on Jared.
Yes, he should be able to get some nice, strong leg kicks in. That will definitely help him out.
Yeah, I think he slows down Gooden's approach because Gooden likes to move forward. I think that Njokuani will get those leg kicks in to mess up his forward movement. I think he's going to land a lot of straight punches, a lot of hard punches too. So I got Chidi Bang Bang Njokuani to get the win here, and I have him winning this one by KO or decision. All right, so we're still in agreement in this one. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Brad Tavares versus Jung Young Park. For me, it's the same here. Jung Young Park, I like him in this one. I like that he's not that much taller, Brad Tavares, than Jung Young Park. Jung Young Park's in very good shape still. Brad Tavares always in good shape, ripped, muscular, pretty big. But Jung Young Park looks like he's also in decent shape as well. I love the takedown advantage here for Jung Young Park. I love the grappling advantage for Jung Young Park. I think he's going to be able to take him down. I thought that Brad Tavares was going to look a little bit more bigger than this, and I think that the Jung Young Park will be able to take him down. I don't think it's going to be.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, man. Yeah, like no, Tavares isn't as good as takedown defense as he used to be. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, the 81% takedown defense, but again, against guys who don't really, aren't really like super skilled in takedowns as Jung Young Park here. So yeah, my pick is Jung Young Park. I still have this guy winning here by. I think he wins a decision. I think Brad Tavares is pretty hard to get him out of there, but Jung Young Park could knock him out. We've seen Brad Tavares get knocked out. So Jung Young Park could knock him out, but I'll say a KO or a decision, but most likely a decision. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to call a finish for Jung Young Park by
I
knocking
think
him
it
out.
could
So
happen.
I think he's gonna end up. It's not gonna happen on the feet, but I think it's gonna happen ground and pound style if Park knocks him out, or he'll somehow find a sub. I really don't think Tavares is as durable as he used to be. No matter how threatening he looks while he tries to wind up that punch that never seems to come. According to Dominic Cruz, it's the most vicious thing you've ever seen. The way Tavares just looks like a good fighter. Um, anyway, look, man. Yeah, I think Park's gonna want to come back after his last loss. Show he still has something. Show he still has some title hopes. Maybe I think Tavares is on the way down, and yeah. So give me finish in round three for Park.
Yeah, Jung Young Park's been on the guy was winning all kinds. Eric Anders, beat Joseph Holmes, Dennis Tululin, Albert Durayev. Then he had that loss against Andre Muniz, and it was a split decision too. And Andre Muniz is really good, but Brad Tavares has been losing all kinds here to Dricus du Plessis, Bruno Silva, and Gregory Rodriguez. Now he got knocked out by Gregory Rodriguez and also by Bruno Silva, so it's quite possible Jung Young Park can land a knockout punch here. I think his chin is very suspect on Brad. But I think that if Jung Young Park uses his grappling here, if he can get him down, yeah, definitely ground and pound. Maybe even a submission can happen if he can get Brad Tavares on the ground. If the fight stays standing, though, I think a decision win for Jung Young Park just for doing a little bit more damage and
And a little more volume. I
more
agree with
volume.
that call.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, let's move on up. So we're in agreement still with Jung Young Park here. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got the main event of the evening. Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira.
I am still on the side of Tetsuro Taira here, but not completely as much as I used to be, but still on his side. I think we're looking at a potential top five guy, yeah, a title challenger. What am I saying here? Maybe sooner rather than later if he beats Royval here. I think Royval is better on the feet, but I think Tyrod, as we talked about before, has better positioning in order to get like into the position he wants to get it to the ground and then follow that up with something on the ground. Guy has dozens of different submissions he likes to use. But man, Royval is good on the ground too.
Yeah.
Where his strength is on the ground is kind of make something a little less methodical, well, a lot less methodical, and just like real scrambly. And maybe he'll find something from out of nothing. And that's where I think he does have an advantage down there. But give me the more solid overall fighter in Tyra, and it's going to be a fun fight while it lasts. But I still call Tyra by submission or decision.
Yeah, Tyra is the pick for me still too. I do have Brandon Royval as a good dog though, and I forgot to mention also Tavares as a dog play.
We'll talk about the betting.
We'll get that in the betting
Yeah.
coming up after. But the only thing that I was a little disappointed it was in the size of Tatsuro Taira. I feel like he looks very skinny here. I thought he looked a little bit bigger in his last fight. I hope he fills out come
I think
fight
he will.
night. Brandon Royval looks a little bit taller. He looks a little bit bigger and more muscular there. So a little bit worried about that, but it's not like by not by enormous. He doesn't look that much bigger, that much more ripped than Tatsura, but
It's not
just in
not.
these face-offs though. So we'll see how he looks come fight time. But yeah, Tatsura Taira just better on the ground, a little bit more slicker on the ground as far as submissions are concerned and jiu-jitsu is concerned. Brandon Royval is also pretty decent on the feet, but Tatsuro Taira has been getting better on the feet. And how he's been getting better on the feet, we saw it in his last fight, where Tatsuro Taira knocked out Alex Perez. But it was a knee injury, that's true.
Yes, it was a knee injury, but I'll give credit to Tyruf to make it happen.
But
But
even before that fight, he knocked out Carlos Hernandez by knockout too. So
yeah, but we gotta understand though that still at this point, and even still at 24, the reason is not he gets that, and the reason his striking may look a little better than it actually is that threat of the takedown, man.
exactly.
People are
And
terrified of that, so
yeah, and how he got that
they love
knockout.
his striking.
Yeah, exactly. And how he got that knockout on Carlos Hernandez was actually by he hit him with a left hook, which rocked Carlos Hernandez, who and then he went down, and then you saw Tyra jump on top of him on the ground and just started striking him, and he knocked him out with the ground strikes. So I feel like he's better. He's getting better. He's improving. He's very young at 24 years old compared to the 32-year-old Brandon Royval. We're talking an 8-year difference. That's still significant.
But
And
my fear, and well, the way I would see that is like maybe Tyra's a little too young, and Royval is too in his prime. It probably favors Royval when it comes to that, actually.
but remember, this is flyweight. So as you're getting older in flyweight, you're starting to not be as good because I mean, flyweights, it's a younger man.
True. I still think Royval's at the top of his game, though.
Yeah, right now he's in his prime at 32. Like I'm just saying that he's getting up there in age compared to Tyra. I think Tyra will be a little bit more. He'll have a little bit more endurance and a little bit more stamina in this one. So Tatsura Tyra is the pick. There you have it, folks. Our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for the main card. Stay tuned for our official bets video coming up next. Peace out, folks. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We got a comment on the early predictions video. Let's get some more comments on this final predictions. Let's go.